great to be joined by Alan Perry, the fundraising chair for People for Parks, to talk about one of our great island resources that's undergoing really kind of an extreme makeover this time of the year, the Island Rec Center. Alan, thanks for spending a few moments
with
us.
Thank you for having us. We really appreciate it.
Let's talk about the expansion, renovation, all the good stuff that's going on at the Island Rec Center. We've kind of kept up a little bit on the process, but where are we as we go through the holiday here?
Yeah, right now, the actual construction is going along really well. We're kind of finishing up the assets around the pool area so that we can get the dome coming in hopefully in the beginning of the year over the pool. So those hopefully will be open mid-January. The existing building we hope to have open in February so that we can get back in there and get out of the trailers and have some activities there. And then the new building, which has a walking track and all the great fun stuff, hopefully will be midsummer.
Midsummer?
Yes.
Great. Why now for the project? You guys were bursting at the seams, weren't you?
Yeah, why now? That's a great question. We've been working on this for about 12 years. And we saw a need a while ago that we need a true community center and expanded facility. We're in a 30-year-old building and it's run its course. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of an economic downturn that kind of gave us some delays, but we rallied around it. The council rallied around it, town government, everybody was there. And we're at 40,000 population. And we are bursting at the seams. Yeah. And it's time that this community has a true community center where we can house all kinds of different programs from all ages. And the new facility is going to be able to provide so much more than what we were able to do before. With a walking track inside, this is going to be one of those great fun things that we've never had here. And mom and dad could come after school, their kids are in the after school program. They could come pick them up, but yet before they take them home, they can go upstairs and get a little exercise in.
Your group is called People for Parks. So this isn't just government for parks. This isn't just taxpayers for parks.
Right.
This is People for Parks.
It is People for Parks.
Explain what the group is trying to get done.
Sure. Well, People for Parks has been around for a while. And they were instrumental in building several parks on Hilton Head. And there was a group of individuals, very much like the rec center people that started that in the beginning, saw a need for some additional stuff. And with our government here, the rec center is the recreation arm of the town. So it's a good public-private partnership. And the rec center knows that we're not good at fundraising. We're good at doing events and all this stuff. So People for Parks is our fundraising arm. And we're reaching out to the community to help us raise the funds to do the Equip for Fit, the $1.2 million to outfit the new facility. And People for Parks is reaching out to different civic organizations, different corporations, and then we're going to the general public as well.
The civic organizations in town have been very supportive, haven't they?
They really have been. Without the civic giving that they have provided and are providing, there's no way we could do this. $1.2 million in a short period of time is a lot of money. And we have never had a major capital fundraising campaign like this. And between the Rotary clubs, Zonta, Kiwanis, there are several others, but without their help and their drive, this would not happen.
And that's the resources of all of those clubs, working with their memberships, working with the community as they see it, their little communities, to make the big community.
One great example is the Kiwanis Club.
Okay.
They're coming in and taking over the playground. And they're raising all the funds for that. It's going to be called Gregory's Playground. And they're doing a wonderful job. And what they're going to build there is just state of the art and absolutely gorgeous for every kid and kids with challenges. It's being, it is accessible to everybody. So they're putting a whole lot into it, and they're reaching out to some people that maybe we couldn't reach out to, and they're bringing in those additional funds. The Rotary clubs, they're doing the same thing. The Zonta clubs, they're reaching out to people as well that we may not have contact with, and it's just reaching out to the entire community. I mean, it's going to be a true civic community center. So
how does the community, if I'm not a member of one of those clubs,
right,
but I want to help, what do I do?
Yeah, absolutely. People for Parks is the fundraising arm, so peopleforparks.org. And we've got something great going on there. The Heritage Classic Foundation is stepping up, and they're doing a 15% match on gifts of $1,000 and up. And that's just a huge benefit to us.
Absolutely.
So there's a great, opportunity to raise additional funds, the extra 15%. And so peopleforparks.org.
That's a great place to go. The history of the rec center really kind of mirrors a little bit the history of the island. I mean, they really are intertwined, the growth of both, aren't they?
They are. I don't know if you know, but I've kind of been involved with it since day one.
Yeah?
My dad, Charles Perry, and Brian Carmines through the Hilton Head Rotary Club.
Okay.
We're kind of the founding fathers. And there were other individuals in there, Colonel Selton, Maynard Barker, some other great Islander individuals. And this goes back to the mid-70s. They saw a need for something for us kids to do so that we were out of trouble all the time. And that's when the youth center came around. And so I started working at the youth center when I was a kid, and we worked at the the camps we had there, and then the after school programs. And then, got onto the board. And it's been a family affair for us.
So you're coming at this from about 3 different angles. You've been a part of it with the families part, but then you not only went there, went to the rec center, used the rec center, but then coached, played, was a part of the kind of the parenting supervision that goes on there too.
Absolutely, I have, and I've seen all aspects of it. And same with my brother. He was part of it as well. And my dad's still kind of out there, kind of coaching us a little bit. But it's really about it's about the community need, and it's about giving back to everybody. We have about 250,000 participation visits a year.
Wow.
We give out about $262,000 a year in scholarship money, which we raise all that, through our events.
Yeah, that doesn't just come down from the sky. People go out and raise that.
It doesn't, and it's all making certain that everybody has access. And this is what it goes back to with the Rotary Club and my dad and Mr. Carmines. They saw that need, and let's give something to the community that's going to be long lasting. We're at 40 years. And that's a long time, and it's older than the town of Hilton Head itself.
How about that? It really did start before.
It did.
The town was all incorporated. The staff, the gang over there at the Island Rec Center just puts in an incomparable number of hours making sure this all works too.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. We've got a young staff, and they are so dedicated to the cause and to the need. And what they give day in and day out is unmatched. The festivals that we have and the time they put in for that, they work all week long. They've got so much that's going on, not to mention all the programs that we have. And then we have these special events. And they're there, and they're so dedicated. And they're there for a long time. Yeah. It's a true family upon itself.
That's great. Folks we think about the rec center, and I don't think people realize that all of these events, all of these great events that we have dispersed out through the year are Island Rec Center sponsored and Island Rec Center created.
It's not just sponsored, but we put them on. We plan everything, and then we go out to other businesses and get sponsorships from them. And we just had the Oyster Festival, a couple weekends ago, and it was a great success. And then, of course, the the Meatball Fest, challenge and all that. We had a small part in that.
Right.
We helped out. So it's not just the rec center events. We work with other organizations to help promote them. And our marketing engine is great. So we're reaching out for other organizations to help them be successful as well. Our tagline is "We build community."
There you go, and you certainly do. From the time that you were a kid, just going to the rec center. What's been the biggest amazement to you as to where it has gone, what it has become?
That's the legacy aspect is what's really awesome, because now we have some parents who are coaching who were kids playing, and to see that go through. People talk about keeping younger people here. Well, to some degree that is happening. These kids are participating in the day camps, and they're participating in the youth sports, and now they're coaching and they're being counselors. And that's one of the greatest things to see, that people come back because they loved it so much.
In the new rec center, what's the fanciest toy? What's the favorite thing? What are you going to use?
Well, you know what? We're going to have a rock climbing wall.
Oh!
Now, unless they have great pulley system to help me get up there, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that or not. There's a lot of elements, and we're putting a lot of time into making certain that the technology is there to not only help teach the kids, because there's going to be a lot of that goes on, but for meetings that come in and groups that come in and have meetings, and we've got that ability to have all that technology. And then, of course, the walking track. It's going to be great open air. It's going to be a beautiful place, and it's going to be colorful. And it's windows all around. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous and fun to be at.
Can't wait. It's all coming, and you can help certainly by going to
peopleforparks.org.
Peopleforparks.org. There you go. We will be back with some final thoughts coming up next. Thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care.